It's a good time to be running a copper mine in a Tier 1 mining jurisdiction, and it's especially good if you're increasing production. Chris Stewart is president and CEO of Minto Metals. Minto Metals is MNTO on the TSX. Chris, welcome to Kitco.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Pleasure to be here with you today.
Tell us about Minto Metals.
Well, up until late last year, we were actually Minto Explorations, which was a privately owned company. We just completed our go public transaction in combination with $31 million financing in November and became listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, as you mentioned. So we are now known as Minto Metals Corporation, and we are a copper producer with gold and silver byproduct credits. And we have been in production for about 2.5 years now, operating the Minto Mine, which is located in the Yukon within the Selkirk First Nations traditional territory. So the mine has produced over 500 million pounds of copper since it started way back in 2007, and we purchased it from Capstone Mining back in mid-2019.
Tell us how you're increasing production. We were just talking, Chris, you finished the year on a strong note.
Yes, for sure. We're very pleased with, November and December were a strong month for us. We did over 6 million pounds of copper, and, we've been focusing on ramping up production. So we've delivered back in 2020, we did 18 million pounds. Last year, 2021, 26 million pounds. And then this year, we're looking to deliver 29 to 31 million pounds and a focus on, getting into the new ore lenses this year, which will allow us to amp up production even further to what we call our fill the mill strategy, which is essentially, getting 4,200 tons a day to the mill, which will move our production up into the 40 million pound range.
Tell us about the leadership team at Minto.
Yeah, I joined the company in January 2021, and I'm really pleased with the operation. We made some changes to the senior leadership team. I'd say I'm really, really happy with the senior leadership team I've managed to bring together. Out of the 9 people on it, including myself, only 3 of them were here prior to my arrival. So I went and got the other 5 people. And I'd say we've got a very diverse and dynamic group. And each person, I feel they're experts in their field. So I couldn't be happier with the team we have in place now.
You mentioned the First Nations a moment ago. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about local community support.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we have, I would say, a lot of local support. We're working closely with the Selkirk First Nation. As I mentioned, we are operating within their traditional territory. We're very pleased to have communities close to the mine that support us, as well as people in Whitehorse, which is only a short flight away. So,
what makes the Yukon a good place to work, Chris?
Well, I would say, Canada in general is a great place to own and operate a mine. As you mentioned earlier, it's a Tier 1 jurisdiction, very mining friendly, politically stable. You hear of things happening around the world where some companies are losing mines to governments and other things going on. So that doesn't happen in Canada. And I'd say, based on my 30 years in the business, with majority of that in Canada, there's challenges with regulatory processes in every province or territory, but I'd say the Yukon's, very supportive of the mining industry. We've incurred some delays with our permitting process here over the past year, which has slowed our planned ramp up. We were looking originally to be up to 4,000 tons towards the end of 2022. That slipped into 2023. But we are working closely with both the Selkirk First Nation and the government, and I'm confident we'll find a path forward here in the not too distant future. So
you're finished the year strong. You're increasing production, so I imagine the infrastructure around the mine is supportive.
Yeah, no, I'd say, we've got a first-class infrastructure there. Over $350 million US has been spent building that prior to our arrival and buying the company. We've got, I'd say, probably, I call it the Hotel Ritz, but I'd say we've got a first-class camp facility there, probably the best in the Yukon, and Sodexo operate that for us. And we've got great food, which is, I've learned over the years, again, you got to have good food if you want to have people working in a remote location like we have. So our mill's in great shape. The underground infrastructure is some of the best I've seen. The air is fantastic underground. So yeah, we're really, really pleased with what we have there. And we've been investing heavily into new equipment over the past 12 months. And we have a few more pieces trickling in this year. So I think we're in a great position here to deliver on our targets for 2022.
Lastly, what are some catalysts investors should look for over the next 12 months?
So we'll be sharing in the not too distant future here within the next week or two our 2022 exploration program. We're very excited about that. I'd say that's something people should pay attention to. There hasn't really been done or hasn't really had exploration done here in the better part of a decade, since 2012. And we're looking to spend $9 million this year on exploration. We did do about 8,000 meters of drilling last year, but that was more focused on extensions to existing known deposits or lenses. This year, we're actually looking to step out beyond that and drill areas that have never had a drill hole put into it. So we're super excited to see what we can find there to look at growing the resource. And then, of course, we'll be getting our permits as they come along, and that'll facilitate the development into these new ore lenses, which will then allow us to amp up production. The second half of this year, we're planning to be around 3,250 tons per day, up from 2,900 tons per day here in the first half of the year. So again, continuing our ramp up of ore production.
Chris, thanks for speaking to Kitco.
Yeah, no, thank you, Michael. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about our company.
Chris Stewart is president and CEO of Minto Metals. I'm Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining. Now let's take a closer look at Minto Metals.
Welcome to the Invest Yukon site tour of the Minto Mine. My name is Brendan Zadima. I'm the Senior Director of Operations here at Minto. The Minto Mine sits on the traditional territory of the Selkirk First Nations. The Minto Mine is located approximately 270 kilometers north of Whitehorse. At the site here, we have a mill, open pits, and an underground operation. The site is powered on the grid from Yukon Energy Corporation. We have an all-weather road that accesses the property. In the summertime and the wintertime, we access over the Yukon River either by barge or by winter road in the winter. In the spring and fall, we have to access the site by plane. The Minto Mine started in 2007 with the commencement of the open pits. The underground operation started in 2014. Over the life of the mine's produced 475 million pounds of copper. The restart of operations started in October of 2019. Since then, we have grown from 2,000 tons per day to 3,000 tons per day. We've completed mining the Minto East zone, and we are currently mining in Copper Keel for all our production. We're currently standing on the main haul road alongside the main pit that's completely mined out. In the background, you can see our mill and our concentrate shed, the fueling station that we keep half a year's fuel on site. You can see on top of the hill. The camp and kitchen are in the background. You can see our crushing spread where we crush our ore. Off in the distance here, you can see our surface contractor Cobalt and their shop area. And then on the other side of our A2 pit, the gray building is the underground mobile maintenance shop. And then on top of the hill, you can see the exploration buildings and where our airstrip is. The underground operations currently produces 2,800 tons a day of ore and will be ramping up in the second half of 2021 to 3,000 tons per day. We have a strategic partnership with AMI and Finning for all our underground equipment needs. We are currently running 5 Caterpillar scoops and 4 Caterpillar trucks, and shortly ramping that up to 6 Caterpillar scoops and 6 Caterpillar trucks. We have a crushing plant that can crush up to 350 tons an hour. We have a 4,000 ton a day mill, and we've got a mine producing approximately 3,000 tons per day. We achieve around a 95% recovery on our copper, and our copper concentrate we produce is a 35 to 40% copper in our con. Minto North 2 is our next mining project that we anticipate will be starting this fall. Minto North 2 will be a separate portal off the Minto North pit, and it'll be able to provide an extra 1,500 to 2,000 tons per day that will allow our mill to run at full capacity at 4,000 tons per day. The mine life at Minto is 8 years. We plan to grow that resource. We are planning a very aggressive program in 2021 and 2022, and this is currently in permitting stage. Not only does the mine have a relationship with Selkirk Development Corporation and Selkirk First Nation, but all our key suppliers and contractors on site do as well, like our crushing contractor Cody, our earth moving company Cobalt, and our underground contractor Mabu. Currently at Minto, we have 116 Minto employees, 144 contractors for a total of 260 employees. At any given time, we have about 140 people on site. 27% of our workforce are Yukon residents and 18% are First Nations. Progressive reclamation is key to Minto. We're working with Yukon University, the Yukon government. We planted 40,000 trees this year. We're working on wetland studies, and we will continue to develop innovative progressive reclamation initiatives. I'm very excited about this operation. We have a great management team with a lot of experience. We're all looking forward to developing this mine, working together with our great local partners and stakeholders.